On January 11, 2013, a high school student walked into the gym at school like any other day. But what investigators would discover hours later would shock an entire country. Inside the gymnasium of a high school in Valdosta, Georgia, the body of a 17-year-old student was found in a place no one expected. He was discovered upside down inside a rolled-up gym mat. His name was Kendrick Johnson. Authorities quickly ruled his death an accident. But the disturbing details surrounding the case made many people question that explanation, because the deeper investigators looked into what happened inside that gym, the more confusing the story became. How could a teenager end up trapped inside a gym mat? And why do so many people believe Kendrick Johnson's death was not an accident at all? Before the controversy and national headlines, Kendrick Johnson was just a normal teenager. He was a 17-year-old student at Lowndes High School in Valdosta, Georgia. Friends described him as athletic, friendly, and full of energy. He played sports, joked with classmates, and had plans for the future. To the people who knew him, Kendrick was simply another student trying to enjoy high school life. But everything changed on January 10, 2013. That morning, Kendrick arrived at school as usual. At some point during the day, he entered the school gym, but he never returned to class. When the school day ended, Kendrick Johnson had vanished. At first, no one imagined the horrifying discovery that would be made the next day. The following morning, students entered the gym for class. That's when someone noticed something strange. Inside the gym were large rolled wrestling mats that were stored upright. One of those mats looked unusual. When someone looked closer, they saw something shocking: a pair of feet sticking out from inside the mat. Teachers immediately called for help. Emergency responders arrived at the scene. Inside the rolled-up gym mat was the body of Kendrick Johnson. He had been discovered head down, with his body trapped inside the narrow space of the mat. The position of his body raised immediate questions. How did he get inside the mat? And more importantly, why couldn't he get out? Investigators soon presented their explanation. According to authorities, Kendrick may have climbed onto the mat to retrieve a shoe. Some students reportedly stored their gym shoes inside the rolled mats. Investigators believed Kendrick reached inside the mat to grab his shoe, lost his balance, and fell headfirst into the narrow space. Because the mat was tightly rolled, they said he became trapped and couldn't pull himself out. Tragically, investigators concluded he likely died from positional asphyxia. But while officials considered the case closed, many people weren't convinced, because several details about the scene raised serious doubts. Soon after the investigation began, Kendrick Johnson's family started raising questions. First, they wondered why security footage from the gym area appeared to be missing or incomplete. They also questioned why Kendrick's body had remained inside the gym overnight without being discovered. Another disturbing detail involved the condition of Kendrick's body when it was later examined. An independent autopsy commissioned by the family suggested possible blunt force trauma. This contradicted the official conclusion of an accidental death. As these details spread online, the case quickly attracted national attention. People across the country began asking the same question: was Kendrick Johnson's death really an accident, or had something far more disturbing happened inside that school gym? As more details began to surface, the timeline of Kendrick Johnson's final moments became even more difficult to understand. If he had entered the gym during school hours, how did no one notice him struggling or calling for help? The gym was part of an active school environment, with students and staff moving in and out throughout the day. Yet somehow, Kendrick remained inside that mat for hours without anyone realizing something was wrong. Even more unsettling was the position he was found in. Being trapped upside down would have made it extremely difficult to breathe or move. Investigators suggested he couldn't pull himself out, but some questioned whether it was even possible for him to end up in that position without assistance. These unanswered questions continued to build, creating a growing sense that something about the official explanation didn't fully add up. As the case gained attention, tensions in the community grew. Kendrick Johnson's family continued to demand a deeper investigation. They believed someone at the school may have been responsible for his death. Rumors and accusations began spreading online. Lawsuits were filed. Investigations were reopened and reviewed multiple times. But despite years of controversy and public debate, authorities continued to stand by their original conclusion. They maintained that Kendrick Johnson's death was a tragic accident. Still, for many people following the case, the unanswered questions remained, and the image of a teenager found inside a rolled-up gym mat continued to haunt the public. More than a decade later, the case of Kendrick Johnson is still discussed by investigators, journalists, and true crime followers. For some, the official explanation provides closure. But for others, the strange circumstances surrounding his death still raise unsettling questions. How did no one notice Kendrick trapped in the gym? Why do some details of the case remain disputed? And could the full truth about what happened that day still be missing? The death of Kendrick Johnson remains one of the most debated cases in modern true crime. But now we want to hear from you. Do you believe Kendrick Johnson's death was truly an accident? Or do you think something else happened inside that gym? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy disturbing true crime stories and mysterious cases like this one, make sure to subscribe to True Crime Journal for more chilling investigations every week. Because sometimes, the most disturbing mysteries are the ones that refuse to be forgotten.